All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Ow! Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic night. And got some interesting stuff to look into today.
Yeah, most definitely. Both in and out of things, and I hope the weeks have been treating you well.
Yeah, well, Halloween's over, of course. So right now I'm kind of just like preparing for Thanksgiving, family stuff and whatnot. But
Oh, I mean, you guys have it the best. Meanwhile, down here, I'm just in pain and basically going through a couple of extra hours, so to speak. Been
oh
tired all
man,
week.
I'm sorry to hear that. What the heck?
Yeah, but I'll make it through somehow.
Ah, yeah, you
Anyway,
will.
yeah, joining us also is our always present interim host, Noble.
And it's overcast as all fuck outside right now. So, yay! I also broke the profanity barrier. Yay! How about you, Joel?
Yay! It's also the same thing in my neck of the woods. Looks like I have overcast weather.
Oh man.
Hey, look, if
Oh,
it makes you could be worse though. The past couple of days have been very inconsistent, and the air has been so stuffy, and it's been raining. So there you go.
well, today, for me here on Long Island was actually absolutely beautiful. Sure, it might have been about 58 degrees. It was a little chilly, but it was totally clear, blue skies. It was a beautiful day. Of course, it's middle of November, so it's going to be frost at night, and just not looking forward to winter. For you guys, you're approaching spring, so yeah, it might
No,
be
we're
a little
approaching
rainy, but
summer.
after the rain, it's going to be great. Yeah, you're
We're
approaching summer,
approaching.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've already summer. So like, so I'm approaching winter. Yeah, total opposite. Ah, man.
I know how you feel. It's not gonna be fun for me, but hey. Anyway, start things off. Got a live comment here. Sassy Raptor Productions. Hi. Anyone going to MFF? I've had my time once back nearly 10 years ago. Nah, nah.
Oh,
I
MFF?
think I'm.
Nah, I've
Yeah.
never been there.
Well, it's worth it if you're willing to brave through LineCon and all that. But that brings us to the first item of the story. Speaking of like big conventions, big fur cons. Well, not necessarily MFF, but this is the set that. All right, let's have a look. Anthrocon has a month back. We've missed the story, but better late than never. Has made an announcement going through with the high attendance numbers. And
So,
so they've had to make a couple of changes going forward next year into 2025 after after the attendance figures have grown. Remind me, how much people attended Anthrocon last year? Wasn't it like 17,000 thereabouts?
what you mean? Like this past summer? Yeah, it was 17,690 people that were just registered. That were there. So yeah, which is an insane amount. Insane. Like for a furcon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is one of the announcement. Well, this is the announcement that they made quite some time ago. Just about a month. Somehow we missed this, but that's all right. So let's see what Anthrocon says in regards to like how they're going to handle the demand versus the resources that they're able to provide.
All right. So some of the key points that he said: attendance numbers for Anthrocon 2025 will be monitored, and if necessarily, will be capped should the number exceed the acceptable safety standards for our venue and our operations. Any confirmed registration cap will be announced in advance of pre-registration closure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. To bring to that point, like I wanted to go to an anime con some point in July this year, and then I realized all the tickets were sold out. I was like, "Ugh, can't get in now. Can't even buy a ticket at the gate either. So bummer. Missed my window of buying it online. So there is that. They could probably also say there is a hard cap and when tickets sold out, tickets are sold out.
Well, there's like capacity stuff too. Like depending on the venue, like if
Right.
they can only hold like 12,000 people, but 15,000 people want to attend the event. I mean, like, what do? Like you can't have the building be overcrowded. Then that's going to cause problems with like the fire marshals, or like it's just not going to be manageable. And then it's going to have to be moved somewhere bigger or something. So, but with Anthrocon, I believe in their statement, they were in contact with the city of Pittsburgh itself, like public officials, about how to handle this influx of the increasing amount of people. So let's see what else they said here.
Yeah. Next item. Thursday registration will be pre-registration pickup only. No Thursday pass will be available, and on-site registration will start on the Friday of the event. Okay, cool. So like you can still buy tickets at the gate just on Fridays. Fine. That's fine. Hotel shuttles are being improved to accommodate wheelchair/ADA needs on all buses rather than on-call bus. Yeah, I mean, if you've been to Anthrocon, I'm sure, like there's always the eternal problem of having to walk all the way from your hotel to the convention center, especially while lugging around a fursuit, or in worst cases, also having a disability.
Yeah, and consider the weather as well. I mean, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's not raining, or it could be like 110 degrees out. I mean, well, not
Yeah,
110, but
especially like you consider that people have said something about the Pittsburgh summers.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the middle of July, right? Like, or early July, right? Like in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's crazy.
they really go, and they're and doubly more so if you're in fursuit.
Well,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I think I've mentioned this before. Like when I was in fursuit at Anthrocon back in like 2017, 2016, I think I was some people. We went to like down to the park. We were
Yeah.
just walking around a couple city blocks, and yeah, it was like 100 degrees out.
They're gonna have to either split everything up or find a bigger venue at this point.
Well, that's what Anthrocon tried to do. That like basically they have the main event like area, and the convention center for Anthrocon. Granted, it is very large. Like it's an enormous place. So but they also have to have like 11 hotels. I believe last time I checked, it was between like 11 to 13 hotels in the surrounding area that were in, contract with the Anthrocon event. That's a lot of hotels. Granted, a lot of them are only a few blocks, like in the surrounding area, but like, yeah, I had to do that a couple times. Like, I was in a hotel a block away, 3 blocks away, something like that. They have shuttles for hotels that are even further away, but it's getting to such a point where it's like too many people are coming to this event where like they don't have enough people to manage it. That's what seems to be going on here.
Next item, last one. The fursuit parade will be exploring a limit to participants and standards for participation to help manage the parade safely. Well, now the interesting part about this is that they've moved to do the parade right on the open streets, right?
Well, they've done that before, yeah. I mean, that's kind of always what it was. Like they went around like a little area around the hotel, then they come back down like through the parking lot area, and like that's where it would end.
Yeah.
It wasn't an indoor thing. No, it was like outside. Like they would close down streets for it. Like back, it's gotten smaller over the years, but in general, like the Pittsburgh like fursuit parade was always around like the city. You know, like the whole community would come out and like watch it, and that was like a big thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, over the years, it has gotten smaller. But with more furries coming now, like should it be smaller, or like it has to be bigger, right? Because there's so many furries involved. So like, what do you do? That's where like the problem of logistics are coming in now, if you think about it, right?
You're right. And this is something that you should really look to the bigger cons like anime and or even comic cons can do, because their attendance numbers basically dwarf what furry cons can ever manage. Like you've seen it, right? Like they have attendance numbers in the 50 or 60,000s.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like L.A. FurCon, New York City, not
You know,
FurCon. I mean like
Anime
Comic Con.
Expo, San Diego
Yeah,
Comic
yeah, Anime
Con.
Expo. Oh yeah.
And you would think it would be an absolute festival of chaos because of just the sheer amount of
But
people that's just there.
here's the thing, though. It seems like we're kind of in that transition stage, because it's not like 80,000 furries are going to show up to one convention. Like,
No, we're
at
not.
Yeah.
least like not right now.
Now,
But
that may happen in the next 2 or 3 years. So Anthrocon may want to turn around and get prepped for that.
true, but I'm not done yet. Okay, I'm saying like I think right now, because furry is becoming so mainstream and so popular, like it's growing much faster than what our current kind of structure of conventions can handle. You know, back like when I first started joining the fandom, 8,000 people at a con, like that was a pretty moderately to big convention. Like, damn. I used to go to conventions with like 2,000, 5,000 people thereabouts or whatever. But now it's definitely becoming more like mainstream, and not like LA Comic Con level where like, 95,000 people showing up this ridiculous venue, but it's more than like, if 17,000 people showed up to Anthrocon, like that is gnarly. That's a gnarly number I never even would have thought of just a few years ago. So it's definitely growing very quickly, and they're going to have to try to find ways to handle it. Right now, it seems like they're doing the whole capping trajectory, that maybe they just don't have enough space in this current venue to handle it, but they're going to have to look into bigger places. And I think it's just going to grow from there.
Yeah, true. Now, here's the interesting thing right now. As things stands, there are only 3 fur cons that have attendance figures in the 5 digits. There are Anthrocon,
Mhm.
Midwest Fur Fest, and Furry Weekend Atlanta.
Yeah, and if you look at the fourth one, it's actually half of
Yeah,
number 3. Like
that's
it
Furry
is
Texas.
the
Yeah,
the
Texas
numbers
Furry
don't
Fiesta
really. Yeah,
is half
like,
of that, like about half of that, 8,000 people. And I get it.
right?
Numbers tell a part of the story, but it doesn't. But only so much. And so what we're looking at is like within the next couple of years that more fur cons will reach the 5-digit barrier. And so you got to that point where you're like, they're going to have to start hosting it all in convention centers and figuring out, if they have to, cap how many tickets can actually be sold.
Right. And when it comes to the venue itself, because this is something a little unusual, which I was kind of confused about with Anthrocon's announcement, because I've been to Anthrocon, and even back when I was there, it was still the largest convention like in the world, or a largest furry convention in the world. But they had entire sections of this convention center like closed off. Like only some sections of it were allowed for us, and parts of the entire building, because it was an enormous building, and maybe I would say like a third of it was for us, maybe less than that. So it's not impossible. Like that convention center, they could absolutely host a convention like 30,000 people. They could absolutely do it if they opened up all those extra areas. But I think it comes down to like contracts, like with the city, like or the landlord of the building and all the hotels in the area. Because like if you have 30,000 people influx to the city in one weekend, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of money, but it's a lot of logistics, like a lot of Ubers and restaurants, businesses, like everything is affected. Now, granted, it does gain a lot of money for the city, but you have to like logistically kind of deal with this huge influx of tourism. Like if 45,000 people wanted to go to Anthrocon, sure, they could rent out like or room blocks at like I don't know the 15 hotels in the area and have 55,000 people at this convention center. But that would be wild. And like you said, Noble, it's probably going to happen like within the next I don't know 2 to 3 years or something like that. But my goodness, imagine how like crazy that would be just to try to manage all those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, my concern is what's going to happen if shit hits the fan for them.
Oh, you think so? What do you think would happen?
Well, we've had cons shut down in the past because of drama. I mean, if something bad happens to Anthrocon, can you imagine the fallout from it? It would be insane.
Oh, you think because there's so many people, there's like more of a risk that like one of those might be a wackadoodle and do something crazy?
Yeah, or someone
Probably.
crazy worms their way into the administration and then bang.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Like the administration, because I don't know if like LA Comic Con, if they use like professional companies or like just how much money these guys actually have to like run these events. Anthrocon is pretty big, but running a furry con it's not profitable. Like at least for
No,
most of us, like
doubly
it's not an easy thing to do.
doubly more
Trust me,
so
I have
when
experience doing
when anime and comic basically have sponsorship dollars and all that, and they're hyper commercialized.
Right, like all the video games and all the animes. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's a good point. Yeah, you're totally right. I didn't even think about that because, like, furry cons. I mean, we have like the charity sponsors. Well, not sponsors, but like no charity connections, I guess. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
even then, Free basically largely like keeps sponsors and commercialized media at an arm's length. Like even if you
yeah.
like, why do you think
Ourselves.
why have we kept like say Disney or even like the biggest producers of anthropomorphic media, if at that, a way of
Yeah, well,
attempting to pull.
personally, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, we should keep it to ourselves. Not sell out to companies that want to like advertise
Right,
at our
exactly.
conventions. Like it's better to have our own people, create their own content and sell it for themselves. The straight up capitalism, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess what we're looking at is like it's also an interesting thing. Like what we're looking at now that we've looked at statistics and attendance figures, it's
Yeah.
it's
Well, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing if they're doing this.
and
Because
even then, you can only build a convention center so huge.
Well, technically, this is a good thing, but if it's not managed properly, well, there are cons that have basically crashed and burned. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But it's more. But again, it also boils down to management, logistics, whole heap of things, and and the city having your back.
And that's
is,
the thing with Anthrocon. They've been doing this for a very long time, and the city does have their back. And I think they're trying to like have their best interest at heart, because the city wants to make money off of this. Everyone wants to have this event succeed. So this is their way of thinking this is the best path to go about having the
Mhm.
con still exist without it getting too out of control.
So I am kind of in agreement that it is a good thing.
Yeah. What were we gonna say, Noble?
It's going to have to get to a point where they're going to have to start being able to make money. Otherwise,
Yeah,
cons like this, it's just not going to be feasible. The amount that you'll lose is just going to keep compounding until it's yeah.
exactly. It's contracts and everything cost a lot of money.
Hmm.
But yeah. But I suppose in the end, there is that there, and I think and even then, for cons like abroad and all that will take it'll take them years to get to that point. But
Right.
but yeah,
But conventions do make, even if they're technically nonprofit, like of course they have money, like they have
yeah,
budgets to, buy decorations or make
that's
merch
besides the
and
point. Like,
advertise, have a website, stuff
the
like that, right?
yeah, but that's besides the point. The point is, all that money just goes to the benefit, to boosting the economy of the city. What do you think? Anthrocon rakes in so much money from Pittsburgh.
Oh, in that case, yeah, furries spend a crap ton of money.
Yeah, and not
Like
to
the city of
mention,
Pittsburgh, they make millions.
the city basically makes money on all that stuff, like hotels and all of that. People needing all of that, getting there. Yeah, it adds up.
Well, I was exaggerating, not millions, but it's definitely a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
it's a major tourist attraction too. Like even like local businesses, they all cater to the furries. We've all seen this. Hotels, that they have all kinds of discounts or special things. Like the whole city gets involved. They have flags all over the place, dude. Like I've seen it. Like I've been to AC like a bunch of times, and the whole city gets involved. It's really cool. The parade is fun. Local news is
mhm.
there. But
Oh,
it definitely, like, I think becoming too big might actually unfortunately be a problem, because like there's just like not, I don't know, I wouldn't say not enough room. Like the con space is pretty big, but
well, you could look at it this way. Clearly, the city likes Anthrocon. What
oh
happens
yeah.
if they'd have to turn around and lock down a whole street for it?
They've had to do that several times for the parades, yeah. But
No, no, no,
those are like
no,
the
no,
two
no.
blocks in front of like the what?
No, Avira, I'm talking about moving Anthrocon to an entire street.
Oh well, I'm not really sure what you mean by that, because
Right, like
that kind of
what
already
happens if
happened.
you relocate all the vendors and put all the vendor stores on one street? You lock it down. They can have host all the panels and that in that in
Oh,
whatever's
so
on
that
the
would
street that's
basically be
allocated
like
to them.
a weekend block party, kind of
Yeah,
something like that. Well, that would be very inconvenient for people that lived in those buildings, depending on
Not to
where they did
mention,
this.
not to mention the economic impact of businesses not being able to operate because of the whole closures.
Well, they would be operating by the whole furry community. I know that's not what happened. Like they didn't shut down roads completely. Some parts did. In fact, there was a block party with like there was some concert playing like the day before. But for the parade they do that, but then of course after the police escort they open up the roads again for like a couple hours. But like I was at a hotel like 2 blocks away, and every single restaurant, like every little mom and pop shop, like antique store or whatever fish and bait shop, I mean whatever it was, little mini marts, like thousands of furries were all over the damn place. Like we made all these little small businesses so much money. It's totally bonkers, man. So Pittsburgh really does love the furry community because the tourism is nuts. People come from all over the world to come to Anthrocon. But now it's getting too big where it's like it's kind of overwhelming. Like even the local government is like, we really can't cater to like everyone, like all this crazy influx, like transportation, all the traffic, it's crazy. So logistically, it's getting problematic. I mean, I guess that was the whole point of their announcement.
Hmm.
Seems like they're trying to deal with it though. At least they're being transparent, which is good. You know, it's not like all of a sudden you're trying to register. It's like, oh, there's a cap. You missed out. You're like, what the fuck? So at least right now they're saying, we're working on something. So it's good.
All right. Now to move on from this, we're gonna go through a couple of weird, outlandish items just for the theming of it all. So here we go. Like move on from the convention thingy while we're kind of on the furry tangent. So, how often do bears basically go in there and break into cars? I've got a question for you. Not very, right? Like, because really, like, how does bear go into car? Like, fit it, squeeze into window, break said window open.
Some bears are the size of cars, so
Yes,
might be
exactly.
a little hard.
My suggestion would be open it like a tin can.
Mm-hmm. Get the claws out.
And then get in like a sardine.
Exactly. And there you go, and then drive
No.
off, assuming the bear has brains. Well, this outlandish item is was that bears allegedly were responsible for the stealing of certain cars, but in truth, no, it wasn't. It was a bear suit.
Oh my goodness.
No. Sorry.
No.
The CSI episode Fur and Loathing's coming to mind where that guy in a fursuit gets shot by a farmer because he thinks it's a coyote.
Okay. At first, I thought you were going to say this happened in Russia, and then you said a bear suit. So now I'm thinking Florida. But that wouldn't make sense because bears don't live in Florida.
I say Texas.
So what's going on here?
No, it's not Texas either. What actually happened is that it happened in the state of California. Because remember, California, California has the bear on its state flag.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Oh no.
Yeah, and so what happened is they it got so outlandish to the point where California. I mean, yes, California. What happened is that they had to make a police Operation Bear Claw, and that in order to find out what the cause of all these the supposed bear break-ins was about. And
so wait, were people reporting this as bear break-ins, or were they reporting it as someone in a bear suit? Like, could they not
they were
tell the
reporting
difference?
this as bear break-ins. Like they were telling the insurance companies that my car was broken into by a bear because there was they had the footage of it being a bear.
Oh,
and all that.
he must have had a great fursuit.
Right,
Damn.
and the one that I showed you, remember the one that we just
Yeah. Looks legit.
Look, it's got the head, it's got the finger, and
Yeah, it does. Look at the freaking claws. Oh man, that's a bear too. I'm sure like the jaw probably moves and all that. It's got the teeth and the tongue and everything. Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
and especially if you're just like some random civilian and like you're not expecting it, and this comes up to your car and starts scratching at the windows. Yeah, you'd be fucking freaked, right? You'd be like, "It's a bear!" I don't know. Or they run away. Who knows?
No, it just and it was just so funny that it was all they actually managed to go track this because this bear actually seemed to have an eye for expensive cars rather than normal cars, and I was like, and then they were like, hang on.
Well, of course. I mean, everyone knows bears prefer Mercedes.
That's
Duh.
yeah, duh. They know what's good. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
then
well,
now,
certain animals.
hmm and then now, like it just got so funny. Like they went to the root cause of it, and I was like, and then they were like, wait, hang on a minute, this is a bear suit and not an actual bear. Like, can you imagine? You're the investigator that's doing this, and then you're like, what do I write in this report?
Oh, like from the position of the police officer, like the investigator. Oh my goodness. I'd be like, oh goodness, I found another psycho. Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Was the person doing the carjacking an actual furry?
That's a good question because the fursuit looked pretty darn good. I don't know. Oh, Joel, what does it say? Was he a furry or not?
It doesn't
Yeah,
say
I'm
that.
curious too.
It doesn't even say who the suspect really was. They just said that they found, they did the whole searching with a warrant and they found the bear suit. Oh
Okay.
man.
This might just be wolf in sheep's clothing sort of situation, or a human in bear clothing, for lack of better terminology. Maybe not a real furry, but maybe just a special tactic to terrify and harass the public.
Mm-hmm.
That's still pretty bonkers, man.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, you know what? It was also kind of like a weird insurance thingy because, like, dude, I'm looking at there's some video here and it says that the bears basically got in there and scratched the door lining and the guy and yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, I didn't even think about that when it comes to like insurance. Like if it was a bear attack or something and like your car was damaged and whatnot, like maybe that's covered or if it's not. But if it's a dude in a bear costume, then what happens? Like,
Right.
do you
Well,
press charges? Like, can you
it,
find the person? Oh man, that's weird. What the
well, if
fuck?
you're lucky, the person will take his head off while passing a CCTV camera or a ATM. At which point, oh, maybe we can get a facial identification.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't want to ruin the magic. Obviously, who'd want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he's a bear when he's out there in the wilderness trying to break into cars and steal your purse and all that stuff that typical bears do. Maybe hijack your BMW. Who knows? That's typical day in a
Yeah,
bear's
it's
life.
more, it would be a typical day in California. It's more like you're right. Like, as I was saying,
Yeah,
it was
I know. Oh, I didn't
it
want to
wasn't
say
so
it.
it wasn't so much a car theft thing. It was more like, yeah, what I'm reading is like it was more of an insurance fraud. And you know what's so funny? Like the insurance firms basically launched in, and they had to get a biologist, a bear expert, to crack the case. And
Oh
like,
goodness! What did the
yeah,
biologist
like look,
say when the results came in?
look, there was so much slack. The biologist said there was so much slack, and like the bear furs can't be that
Oh
saggy.
my goodness!
Yeah, so they just solved the mystery of the Carlina scratcher. They solved.
I still want to find out
Oh, they got him.
if I still want to know if this is a wannabe furry, a furry, or someone who's just wearing a bear costume to really fuck with people.
Yeah, honestly,
Mhm.
I think it's the latter. He's probably not really a furry. He's just using this as like some kind of a weird scapegoat or something.
To try
Because
and get like thousands of dollars from insurance.
yeah, like one of those scam sort of situations.
Because
I mean, furries are petty, but I don't know if they're petty.
no. Insurers will basically do whatever they can in their power to avoid paying.
See,
That's
if he was
generally
a furry, here's what he should have done, or here's what he would have done if he was a furry. He would have gotten into his bear suit, which, like I said earlier, it does look pretty, okay. Like if it was dark out or if it was quick, whatever. So he gets in his full body bear suit, right? And then he has like a night vision camera. And then he just starts growling and runs up to his car and just scratches it and runs away. And then the next day he's like, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened. It looks like a bear came in. Oh, woe is me." And nobody knows that he even has like a bear fursuit, right? Like that would be like a strategic sort of a plan. Not giving you guys any ideas or anything. I'm just saying like that's something that if you wanted to get away with something like that, like that's probably how you would do it.
the second part of it. Like
Right?
if you wanted to try it, you'd have to orchestrate it in such a way where where you'd have to make a convincing case that the bear actually does know how to break into the car and scratch, and scratch all the seats and the liners and everything else in between.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they left the window open and he just crawls in and, uses his little claws to pop the door and then he just starts growling and intentionally looks at the camera because, to make sure he's a bear, obviously. Then gets into the car and then wrecks the shit. Yeah, absolutely.
I seriously will have to see someone do this in a fox costume.
or like yeah, you're right. Or like a giant raccoon or some bullshit. Oh my god. That'd be crazy.
Now that would sound so believably. No.
The thing is, like bears, though, like when it comes to like insurance claims, that's actually more reasonable, like than it sounds, because bears are
Right.
pretty damn smart, and they can
And
actually get into cars and like do damage, like for sure. So if I don't know if you want to scam or
like
do that,
of all of the animals, it's actually a good thing of choice because the other animals that people tend to, if you think about all the big animals that people tend to get into collisions with, like a deer or an elk, that might be a bit.
oh, that's way worse. Oh my goodness, man. Do you know how many Americans die from getting into car accidents with deers? Like it's a scary amount. Like we have signs, even like on the road, like from my house to my job. There's a sign that says the next 6 miles, watch out for deer, because these motherfuckers jump across the road, like they just don't care. It's insane. Like it's like they want to die. So you have to be vigilant about the deer. It happens a lot.
In Australia, it's more wallabies and
Uh,
kangaroos. Well, at least where I am, it's
yeah,
wallabies.
yeah.
On the mainland, you'll have
I
like
can imagine.
kangaroos.
So, Noble, do you have like signs like on the road, like kangaroo warning next 2 miles, something like that?
Down where I
Or
am, it's
is it
all
just
wallaby.
oh, okay? But so you have signs for it, or is it just like expected?
We've got signs for it.
Okay, yeah, because like in certain parts, like where I live, like I live in like the suburbs, like right outside of New York City, so it's not super wild, but where my job is, yeah, we have like national parks and stuff. So we have like deer sign warnings, and even like my aunt who lives like I don't know less than 10 miles away, she has like deers that come up to her house. Like they're everywhere here. They're very dangerous.
Most animals are. It's
No,
just most
like
people don't
like
expect
especially on the
a
road.
cute koala to
No,
be dangerous, but those bastards will gun for you.
nah. Aren't those the guys that like fall out of trees and? Or
Oh,
is that
if
just
one's
a
on the
meme I'm
ground,
thinking of?
and if one wild one is on the ground, you do not approach it because those things will fuck you up.
Oh yeah, don't they have like some vicious bite? And it's all like infectious diseases
Teeth
and
and
crap.
claws.
Oh, oh, nasty. Damn, freaking the land down under is so fucking dangerous.
Yeah, even the spiders want to kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but what I want to know are the animals that are more dangerous to cars in that case.
yeah. Okay, well, here in America, we have larger animals, not smaller toxic ones like mostly in Australia. Of course, kangaroos are a different story, but your kangaroos are like our deer. So they will intentionally jump out into the middle of the. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's on the road. It's all dark. It's just you, and you're trying to just get home. You're in the middle of the freaking parkway, and then a deer will jump out in the middle of the road, fucking 500 feet ahead of you, stop in the middle of the road, turn at you, and stare at you with its beady little eyes glowing. And you've got to slam on your freaking brakes, and then it'll just scamper away. And you're like, "Oh, great! I survived a collision tonight." And then, like the next 2 minutes, the same thing happens, only from the other angle. Like, yeah, it's crazy. Fucking deer, man. No offense to any deer owners out there. One of my buddies is a deer. He's cool. Love you, Toro, if you hear me. But seriously, the freaking deer in Long Island, man. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. It's actually a freaking problem. Oh,
I mean, yeah, you've heard all that, but man, I suppose, but yeah, I know you guys have it bad with like friggin' big skittish animals that just basically live around the road and cause friggin' God knows how much damage to your car.
there's been so many times where like I've had to slow down because like I've seen squirrels run across the road, but like they're quick enough where they can like run away. Deers though, they just don't.
You're right,
I
like
don't know. I don't
small
know
animals, it's
what
not
they're
fine,
thinking.
not like they'll just do
Like
nibble and you probably like they'll slide under the wheel well.
they're huge, and some of them have antlers. Like not the does, but like the bucks. Like you got like some
Yeah,
huge,
fuck that.
300-pound, deer jumping out in the middle of the road, and you're going like 50 miles an hour. Like what the crap, dude?
Oh
Yeah,
god, that also reminds me, like now that I'm thinking back to big animals that could be dangerous to cars and all that. That got me
kangaroos or
thinking about
emus,
like
right?
no, like remember like I saw some of those big fluffy cows like buffaloes when I was at friggin' Yellowstone.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You saw the bisons.
That's right, bisons. That's right. Not buffaloes. What am I talking about? But yeah, bisons.
Yeah, yeah. The American bisons. Oh man, aren't those huge animals? Oh my goodness. Beautiful creatures too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they're about like the size of a car. So I wouldn't mess with them.
All right. Well, we do have time for a quick little bit here, and I know this isn't something that's more to our what's it called, but that's more like But have you? I know you're basically very excited about this, Avira, because you being a dog of sorts.
I am candy corn doggo.
Yes, but instead of taking the go, we got rid of the go. We go back to basics. We go back to the word dog, and we add a letter E.
Okay, yes. So I know
Now let's
what you're
keep this
talking about.
down to the basics, and we'll talk about the good stuff here. But I can't
Right.
believe they actually made it a thing. Still,
Now this is the thing, guys. Now, not to get all political, I wouldn't care if it was left or right or whatever the crap just happened, but the richest man on the entire planet, originally, while he was still, I believe, a Democrat at the time, he did invest, or I think he made a tweet about Dogecoin, and that fluctuated like
Yeah.
bonkers, and that was crazy. A lot of people made a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of money.
Right.
That was back in the day, though. That was Doge, and of course, Doge
Yeah, that
was
was
that
like,
meme
that
doggo.
that peaked way back in 2021, and if you
Indeed,
had it, you had
but
a chance, and bam, Doge went straight to the moon.
yeah, and I don't know if this is like a long-term plan or if this is some foreshadowing of what was to
You know
come.
what? Yeah.
But Elon Musk, mind you, the richest person on the world with over several hundreds of billions of dollars. Now he's like in the cabinet of the presidency of
Oh
the United States
goodness.
of America, which is
I
insane as well.
I just
But the Department of Government Efficiency. So he's going to
right.
make things
And
better. Yeah,
let's just be real. Like, we just here for the picture, right? Like, we are just here for the artwork
we're
of
here for the
the.
picture. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Let
at
me
the end
just
of the
say,
day,
we're just here for the cute.
Elon posted this shit on Twitter. He look at this nonsense. But this is the logo, the official logo of the Department of Government Efficiency that the president-elect Donald Trump just appointed Elon to. He posted this
Oh,
on his
good.
official account. Look at this
Oh
beautiful,
no.
adorable.
Yeah.
Look at, oh my good golly good. Yo, this was made by a furry, I guarantee you. Look at that. How cute is that?
You probably
The,
remember the boomer down here for the Australian Olympics.
Oh yes, yes.
That was not done by a furry artist.
No, that was done by a
okay,
weeb,
but
and he made it
look
look
at
so
this.
amazing. That back then, back in
Look at
2021.
this. Oh, okay. Like, let's be real. Everyone knows that Elon Musk definitely knows what furries are. Of course he does. He owns fucking Twitter.
No, but look, just
Like, look at how
at the
cute this
aesthetic.
is. Oh my god, the
Of all the
Doge.
things, that that you that you could put for government efficiency, he chose that instead of, and that's just so on the nose.
And guys, this is actually a new department that was created by Trump. Now, Trump wants to get rid of certain departments, like the Department of Education, and certain others. But this is a new one for government efficiency, and Elon Musk is in charge of it. I gotta say that orange doggo kind of looks like me. I mean, he's got little doggo dots over his eyes. It's kind of cute. But man, when I saw this, I legit thought it wasn't real. But then again, we
No,
do live
I
in a
could not
different
believe it. Like, when
timeline.
I saw no, well, the announcement is one thing. Like, it's kind of, yeah, man, it's just more government stuff. But
Yeah,
when you saw the artwork for it, when you saw
yeah,
the
that's what
artwork
I'm
for
saying.
it, holy cow!
Exactly. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Like that looks like something a furry would make.
Like,
Like it does, and not even like what you were saying earlier, Jolt, about the artist that made the Australian coins, like for the
yeah,
Olympics. Granted, yeah, that did look like something a furry would make, but this one specifically, like it just looks too cute. It just looks like I don't know where he got this
no,
from.
you're
I would love
right.
to
Like,
know like who the artist is. I'm
heck, I
curious.
bet you, they didn't even hire a furry or a weeb or whatever. Nah. They basically hired a graphic designer who knows how to make like cute stuff. Probably does, that sort of thing, like a
Yeah, you
professional
think
logo
so?
designer they hired.
Interesting. Okay. So, your theory is maybe he hired a graphic designer
Yeah, like
for the official newly
a
created
logo
Doge
designer.
department. Now,
Because
he was basic. He was basing it on the Doge like doggo meme,
yeah,
obviously for Dogecoin. Clearly,
yeah, like, so, like, let's, like, you look at it, like, you look at that logo, and it's like, and they have the design brief. Put the
yeah,
design of, the Department of Government is, government efficiency. Put a picture of a cute, a Shiba Inu. They put in some American flags and make it look cute. Then that means all the boxes were ticked.
dude. Like if that was a furry profile picture, like I would believe it. Dead ass. Like it's so cool. And this is an official government thing now because he was appointed by the president-elect. This is our timeline.
And you know what? It's kind of
Okay.
like you go back to the whole what's it called? The I still can't get it. I still also can't get over the Australian coins. It's like the brief was like,
Oh, that
make
was
a thing,
great.
make it look like it's come from a cartoon. And what we get, like we get something that's a bit very very like anime-ish, that could actually pass off for an anime.
It came out
That's very
great,
important.
man. Oh, I'm so happy about
I
that.
still
Yeah,
can't.
I
Yeah,
have like the
I'm
whole
still
collection.
gushing over it. Like even all these
Yeah,
years,
great.
I still have all the friggin' all those coins and that. But man,
Yep.
but yeah, but now you know what? What I really care more about with the whole Doge thing is are the practical ramifications of all this. And what I actually mean is, come on, it's no surprise when this got announced, Dogecoin spiked.
Oh yeah, yeah. Remember we talked about this quite some time ago when it was like Doge was going up to $1. Like that was the whole thing because Doge
Yeah,
was originally like 0.0023. Like it was basically worth nothing. So if you had like I don't know $10, you can buy like 100,000 Dogecoin. But now that it's like even though now I think it's about like 35, 36 cents, something like that. It has gone up exponentially in price. And now that
yeah.
Mr. Musk is in charge of Doge, I mean, I don't know,
Nah,
man.
I think you know what? I think if I didn't know any better, he's basically like deliberately trying to pump these coins so that the people who are in the know can basically make a ton of dollars out of it.
I would
Right.
question how
Well,
many Dogecoins Elon Musk currently has under his control.
I mean, I've got quite a handful of it, but man, remember like when in the days where you could buy them for cheap, like you can buy a
yeah,
shit ton of
yeah.
them for
When,
pennies.
when they were like like a fraction of a penny, yeah, you could buy like 1 billion of them.
Yeah, and then at right now, like it's literally it's 50 cent, like what? Friggin' not even 50 cents for Dogecoin. But the fact
Well,
is,
it,
if you buy
yeah.
them cheap, then holy cow, you are raking it in right now.
Well, if you invested in Dogecoin when it was like 0.0000825% of like what it is now, and you invested maybe like $100, and you bought like 1 million of them. What's 1 million times 37 cents?
Dude.
You're
Yeah,
making
yeah, right now
you're
it's
making a
37
fuck ton of
cents.
money. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, invest in Dogecoin, man. Crypto is
Right.
something that the new
Right now,
administration is looking into.
unfortunately, you know what, on the practical side of things, right now, because of the whole Trump victory, like say whatever you want, has basically caused the price of cryptocurrency to really spike now.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah, that's
well,
it.
might be a bad time, but if you've already pre-invested, then you're basically laughing all the way to the moon. That's what I want to say.
That's right. That's right, man. Invest in Doge. No, sorry, that's not like economic advice.
Not so. Don't buy Doge. Don't buy Doge right now because it's mooned. Buy it when it buy like just do the whole smart person thing. Buy low and sell high. So
Mm-hmm.
look for your favorite little crypto coin, buy it low, and then wait for the big move. Because I can tell you now, like if I can tell you now, if amidst all of this, if the election had gone the other way around, we'd been pretty miserable because crypto coins would not have spiked. Let me just food for thought.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we totally dodged a bullet. Absolutely. And just economically as well. Bitcoin is something that, well, Trump was saying that he wanted to invest in, and he's like, well, I don't know too much about the Bitcoin, but if other countries are looking into it, and that's the future, that's something that America should be on top of. So this is something that he's looking into. I think that cryptocurrency is probably going to not grow as quick as we'd like to see it happen, unless Trump really does get more informed about it. and then he starts investing or maybe making some speeches about it. As soon as he starts doing that, that's when the price is going to go up even farther. So probably best to invest right now.
Yeah,
Again, not financial advice, but that's
this
what
is
I'm
not
doing.
financial advice,
So
but we are not,
I
we're not
mean,
here to offer
whatever.
you financial advice, or nor are we
You know,
responsible for any,
basically,
losses. But
he wants, yes, he wants to outcompete the competition of like other countries and stuff investing in the same thing, which is the way of the future. So I get it, but not trying to get all political or anything. I'm just loving the freaking memes, man. I mean, oh my goodness, have you seen them?
No, but I'm curious.
I need one of those I need one of those Doge memes, man. Far out. It's
It's
almost
so
like
great.
you're kind of you know what? I popped on for a second. I typed in Department of Government Efficiency on Twitter, and then I saw
Yes.
basically Elon Musk sitting inside the White House with a Shiba Inu on his desk.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh man, I swear, people just click on the uptake, and even quicker when they, when they have now that we have AI to do this for us. Isn't that
Yeah. Well,
right?
in that case, we can pretty much do anything.
Ah man, this is great. But now, wow, look at that. This is all the time we got for the week. While we have in little, we have a lot in outlandish stuff. It's crazy.
All right. All
So,
right. Yeah.
so
Definitely
who'd like
has
to
been a
just wrap?
bonkers week.
Yeah. So who'd just like to make a quick wrap up with what's just happened?
For me, I cannot get over the whole Anthrocon thing.
Yeah. It like this is basically like charting the future of the biggest fur cons and maybe seeing, if we're very, very whatever that maybe seeing in like the next 10 years or so if they're going to get up to the anime con or comic con levels of attendance, logistics, mayhem, and everything else in between. What about you, Evira?
Well, I have high hopes for the expansion of the furry fandom. I think, like, logistically, it's going to be possible to make even bigger and better conventions. I would like to see that, of course. But right
Yeah.
now, like I said earlier, I think we're in like a transition period, and Anthrocon is kind of one of the first ones to really say this. And it was for anyone who probably hasn't seen the YouTube video about like that Uncle Kage has said. Basically, he made a public statement saying that we want to do this to continue the existence of Anthrocon. It's becoming too large, and we have to like logistically try to manage things. So yeah, of course, people are going to be upset about it, especially like when there's a cap. Because again, let's say if now this is just hypothetical, but if Anthrocon wanted to do something like I don't know, 20,000 people cap, that's a very large number of people. So I think they're probably going to want to do something closer to like the largest amount they can possibly do. I don't think Anthrocon wants to cut it down because they want as many people as possible, right? As many people possible that are manageable. Anyways, so let's say if they were to have 20,000 people cap, but 24,000 people wanted to try to attend, that means 4,000 furries can't go to the convention that they wanted to. Maybe it's the one thing that they could go to like once a year that they saved up all year to go to, and now they tried to get into, but because it's capped, now they can't do it. So maybe they have to wait again until next year. So I think that's going to be negative for some people. But in the larger picture, I think it's probably better because at this point they're trying to manage, like, with the exponential growth, how to accommodate everyone that does want to go. Like if 24,000 people, 24,000 people wanted to go. Like if they were able to do that, maybe they could. So there's that. I have a lot more to say about like Anthrocon, but I'm not gonna like get into it because we got to wrap it up. Overall, I would say that Elon Musk being head of Doge is not only ironic and funny and trollish, but I think it actually will be beneficial. Like at the end of the day, because like he does know what he's doing. He might be a tad radical and bonkers, and I don't think he's the most intelligent person in the world. I'm not saying he's not very intelligent. He is, but sometimes he makes, I don't know.
Rash decisions or
But
whatever.
yeah, like the whole boring company was just a total bust. I don't know what the hell he was thinking there. So I have some criticisms of him, but at the end of the day, I think he's a very intelligent person, and he genuinely does love America, and he cares about the prosperity of America. So he's going to be good, especially for Doge. And if you guys haven't invested in Doge yet, this is not my advice, but something I've done before. So I don't know.
Nah, he
I
probably
hope
did
everyone
that
has
to
a
do the whole.
fantastic night.
He
What?
probably did
What?
that for price manipulation.
Yeah, well, that worked out pretty darn well now, didn't it? Anyone who invested in Doge, you're going to be
Back in
very rich.
2021.
Mm-hmm. That's right,
Yeah.
bro. I only spent like $200 on Doge, and holy fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll talk about them soon. So
I'm just
yeah.
saying, man, it's not a terrible decision. God bless everyone, and I guess I will see you next week. Jolt, what do you have to say about this week?
Well, I don't know I don't know how the heck we made this work, and yet it worked, and then yet in the end it worked out somehow.
Mm-hmm.
We just
Well,
had the craziest stories. We just had the wildest stories and the wildest people to make it happen, and where we go. That's basically what we're chronicling for you, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed listening to us as we did making it. You can always find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more. All right. Well, impersonation aside, that's all we got for the week. Farewell until next time.
later, guys.
Bye.